God, I hate international breaks. I would have done a video sooner. I did promise you guys a video on Liverpool's transfer window, but seeing as we all know what happened, or in this year's case, didn't happen, I think I can sum up our entire transfer window thusly.
Hey girls, hey boys, superstar DJs, here we go!
Now the thing is, the bigger talking point was FSG and how let down and pissed off we all are at the handling of the club's money. They keep banging on about, like record revenues and incomes, record profits, operating at a positive net spend most windows, so...
I want to know why there's zero growth in this family's receipts. There's no fucking money. You're supposed to be earners. That's why you got the top tier positions.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money?
So I was going to instead do a video going on about them and, what I think of them overall, comparing all the pros and cons, things they've done well, things they've done wrong. But honestly, what stopped me in the end from posting that video was it did not seem like an appropriate time to post that video for two reasons. First of all, most Liverpool fans were seething, and honestly, my overall general perception of FSG is that, in my honest opinion, deep down, I'm 60-40 in favour of them. And this was just not the right time to say that, because everyone, including myself, were fucking fuming. I didn't even want to post a video defending those fuckers because I was just too pissed off myself. I mean, if you're curious why I'm 60-40 in favour of them, I'll make it as oversimplified as possible. I think the club has moved forward under them, but they make so many avoidable mistakes through a lack of understanding of English football, a lack of understanding of English football culture, fan culture, a lack of understanding of Liverpool fans, the lack of transparency with Liverpool fans. They never have any communication with us. They don't know what we want, what we don't want, what we don't like. They have none of that. But honestly, I'll go more into that into another video because I've decided not to do it on this one.
Butters, don't be such a pussy.
The second reason I didn't post the video though is that, look, we don't know whether not signing anyone will be detrimental to our season or not at this point. This team were consistently European champions and English champions respectively when it was fully fit. We're just assuming it's going to fail this season because we've not signed anyone, and we're backing it up with righteous anger. But if it turns out we didn't need reinforcements and we go and win, something like the league or the Champions League while finishing strongly in the other tournaments, we'll all have egg on our faces and lie through our teeth at the end of the season saying, well, I was defending them, everyone else was kicking off, but I had faith in the Jurgen and the lads. But that's easy for you lot to get away with in the comment sections, but Nob here has to make his opinions public, so, I'm best off just being diplomatic and keeping my trap shut until the end of the season when I can get away with lying. I mean, give my honest verdict on how the plan materialised at the end of the season when we all know what has actually happened in the end.
Very wise.
So anyway, on to the first chapter of finding out whether or not this master plan of FSG's will bear fruit. Leeds away this Sunday, and we're off to a fucking marvellous start already because Brazil lent on FIFA to activate a clause which bans every one of their players who has refused to travel for the international duty to play for their clubs. And unfortunately, that included England's clubs, which obviously includes us. You know what's fun? Writing the script, recording it, and then just as you're about to go to bed and do the video in the morning, Sky Sports only go and announce that decision has now been reversed. I just want to go to bed, mate.
Oh, shut up, you tart!
Thankfully, everything I've already recorded is kind of still relevant because even though they're now available, this will have still seriously screwed up our preparations as Klopp will have had to drill two sets of tactics into two different formations, one with the Brazilians and one without, meaning it's likely half the amount of preparation the lads will have had to work on tactically. So, I'm going to come right out and say it, this fucking sucks! As far as I know, this clause is to punish clubs who refuse for their players to travel for international duty without proper cause. And again, as far as I know, Liverpool didn't make that decision. It was made on our fucking behalf. For good reason. There's a fucking global pandemic going on. I mean, you are seriously testing my fucking patience when you're making me agree with our fucking government. But then, in true fucking political form, they still find a way to screw the people over in consequences for a politician's actions, rather than them face any consequences for their actions. I mean, even when I agree with them, we still get fucked over by them. I mean, honestly, just... Let me just be clear, by the way, I only agree with them because if our lads had gone and then come back, they might have had to self-isolate for 10 days instead of being banned for 5, and that means they'll have missed more games. So the way the situation is panned out instead means they'll only have likely missed out on playing Leeds, and Leeds at least are a team we should be able to defeat. So there's your silver lining. Anyway, finally, this pre-match review can finally get to focusing on our opponents, Leeds.
I thought perhaps you had forgotten me.
So far, Leeds are still without a win in the league and have the joint third worst defensive record to date, but that's only at first glance. Their two first games were against our two dear friends United and Everton, both of whom have had a rejuvenated feel to them this season, with United galvanised by arguably having the best transfer window in the whole of Europe, and Everton are having a brief honeymoon period with agent Rafa. The United game in particular though, Leeds just had the rotten luck of catching United on a good day in front of their own fans. Against Everton, what stood out for me was that they looked like they lacked pace and organisation at fullback, which will obviously be a huge advantage for us if Trent and Robbo can play their usual game. And it has to be said, their goals they've scored have either been long-range hitting hopes or capitalising on a defensive mistake. They're not really breaking teams down from what I've seen so far. It's all about like sort of blood and guts football, high energy but low quality.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
The last game was against Burnley, who seem to have done their homework on Leeds, as most of their chances involved attacks or options out wide. Their goal came from a corner, but the ball was cleared, played around a little, but no Leeds player bothered to pick up the corner taker, who literally had so much time and space to retrieve a deflected shot, which bobbled just away in front of him. He gets it back, no Leeds player in sight, and he just glides in an easy assist for their goal. Leeds are honestly very poor out wide, and we have to exploit this. Leeds' style of play is very old school. I'd hazard a guess they're probably one of the fittest teams in the league, but as I said, it all seems more based on blood and thunder, not quality. I mean, getting in the opponent's faces all the time and wearing them down physically can have an advantage against teams whose game isn't based on pace and fitness. I mean, I look back to the Mourinho Man United team, who were notoriously lazy.
I watched Manchester City yesterday, who Manchester United are trying to get to in terms of the top of the Premier League, and Liverpool. Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, far better players that are in that Manchester United dressing room who work twice as hard. Everton run 4 kilometres further in the first half. Everton.
That would work against them because they just had no interest and no effort in their game. But they're up against Jurgen Klopp's famous gegenpressing. Even our forwards close you down. We should match Leeds for fitness, which cancels out their entire game plan in my opinion. And our superiority and quality should be able to then shine through. I get the feeling Leeds' playing style is only going to help them get points if the opposition goes down to 10 men, and then suddenly the fitness levels of the remaining players becomes a major factor, with 10 men needing to give extra to make up for being a man down. All the other team needs to do is work the ball and make it about fitness, and eventually you'll wear that team down, which is, I think, what Leeds will do if they do get someone down to 10 men. However, unless that happens, I can't really see Leeds causing us that many problems.
Be careful what you wish for.
Right, so my predicted starting 11 for the game. Yes, this is take two. I'm going for Alisson in goal, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip and Robbo at the back. In midfield, I'm going for Hendo, Fabinho and Milner. And then up front, Salah, Firmino and Mane. Now, the reason I'm going for Milner over Harvey Elliott is because it's Milner's ex-club. He'll be extra motivated and it will be a physical battle as well. Although saying that, Klopp has surprised me already by showing faith in Elliott, so I won't be surprised if this turns out to be different and Elliott starts. Also, I've got a feeling, Keita might be in there as well. Again, Leeds are very physical, fit and everything. This is going to be a big running game. We need box-to-box style midfielders. I won't be surprised if he plays Keita in there as well. I'm also predicting Matip because he started most games now at the back with Van Dijk, but I'm starting to get a little cheesed off that Klopp hasn't given Gomez any real game time. Not to mention our one and only summer signing, Kanate. When are you going to play the lad? It's like the one player that we've signed this summer. We're already pissed off at the transfer window and the way it's panned out. We've had one signing. When are you going to play him? We want to see him.
Why are you doing that?
But, it is what it is. I'm not going to question the boss. I'm going to go for an easy 3-0 win just because they're vulnerable at fullback, and our fullbacks will punish such shambolic behaviour if they're given the chance. And they've been showing that in previous games, so I really do think if they play like that against us, we will punish them for it. But anyway, as always, I'd love to know your thoughts below, and before you go as well, please stay to the end because we all know what date it is today, and I'm leaving a little tribute, given the occasion. But as for now, I feel shit for not posting during the international break, but honestly, I kept wasting time changing my mind over the whole transfer window, our FSG video, and seeing as there wasn't enough incoming business worth talking about, I decided to just leave it to the end of the season to say whether or not it was the right idea, because honestly, no matter how pissed off we all are, it's still too early to tell whether or not we have done the right thing. We just don't know. But look, by all means, let me know below what you guys thought of the whole transfer window saga and what your predictions for the game are. How pissed off are you with FSG? I'm sure there's plenty of you that are. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm a new channel at this point, so any and all traffic is very much appreciated. If you are subscribed, again, thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me. I'm not going to go too much into the my whole outro again. I want to leave this little tribute because, again, we all know what day it is today. But as for now, enjoy the game, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you at the end of it. Ta-ra.